Assalamu alaikum, brothers. We're here at Bankstown Station, spreading dawah, doing the work of the Prophet, continuing the work of the Prophet.
6 years ago, Naveed Akram was preaching on the streets of Sydney.
Whether it be raining, hailing, or clear sky, Allah will reward you for whatever actions you do in His cause. Inshallah, this will save you on the Day of Judgment.
Aged just 17, he was among a group of street preachers pushing radical Islam.
So we have to remember to always pray and fulfill our obligation to Allah. The right of Allah is that we obey Him and whatever He says we do.
They posed as peaceful messengers of the Prophet Muhammad to passing teenagers.
You guys are in school, yeah? So it's good, just ask the teacher, can I borrow this room? And just go pray for 5 minutes and go back out.
Not long after this video was recorded, he came to the notice of Australia's domestic spy agency, ASIO.
The son first came to attention in October 2019. He was examined on the basis of being associated with others.
Senior counter-terrorism officials have told the ABC Naveed Akram landed on ASIO's radar after these police raids on an Islamic State terrorism cell. He was closely associating with members of the cell, including the group's self-declared Australian commander, Isaac El-Matari, who was later jailed for planning terrorist attacks.
The assessment was made that there was no indication of any ongoing threat or threat of him engaging in violence.
Do you believe that to be salient?
I've reported factually on what ASIO have found, and the investigation went for a period of 6 months. But it was people he was associated with rather than things that he himself had done.
6 years later, at the age of 24, the former plumber is in police custody after the deadliest terrorist attack in the nation's history. His 50-year-old father, Sajid Akram, an Indian-born licensed gun holder from Sydney's south, was shot dead by police at the scene. Investigators are now tracking suspected links to the Islamic State terrorist group in Australia and abroad. Counter-terrorism officials have told 7:30 that Naveed Akram is also connected to a notorious radical cleric, Wissam Haddad, identified by an ABC investigation earlier this year as a spiritual leader of a pro-Islamic State network in Australia.
If you attack Allah and our fellow brothers and sisters, and if you attack our land, then you are going to be met with men who love death more than you love life.
A lawyer for Mr Haddad has told 7:30 he denies any knowledge of or involvement in the Bondi shootings. Wissam Haddad has been closely watched by ASIO for most of his adult life, but never charged with a terrorism offence. This year, the federal court found he'd breached racial discrimination laws with anti-Semitic lectures.
Towards the end of times when the Muslims will be fighting the Jews, the trees will speak, the stone will speak, and they'll say, "O Muslim, O believer, there is a Yahudi behind me, come and kill him."
Haddad's linkage to this issue is significant. He is a prime example of what the Director General of ASIO and the Australian Federal Police called awful but lawful. So he skates the edge between violent extremism and hate speech. He skates the edge between extremism and violent extremism. Always very careful to hold for not spill over the other side, but at the same time, he is a preacher of hate.
This year, a former ASIO spy told Four Corners how he infiltrated Haddad's Sydney Prayer Centre, the Al Medina Dawa Centre in Bankstown.
I told ASIO, you think you are in an ISIL camp in Syria or in Iraq. The materials of ISIL, videos, the songs of ISIL, they are aware about all this information.
If I was involved in any criminal activity or terrorist activity, I'm pretty sure we've got a better security system than reporters and I'd be arrested.
Officials have told us Naveed Akram was also close to this convicted IS recruiter who made headlines for raising a black flag at this year's Sydney Harbour Bridge March and confronting a protester. As police pieced together Akram's history of extremism, Questions are now mounting about why his father, Sajid, was granted a gun licence.
The fact that his son had those sorts of links should have been a trigger for concern about that ongoing licence. So I do see that that is a failure of the system to pick up this issue. We now need a Royal Commission to look at not just the events of what occurred at Bondi and in the lead up, but to look at the events of the last 18 months, the increased anti-Semitism, the hate speech, identified or been excused as being freedom of expression.